I don't believe California wants to stop moving forward. How we'll move forward, whether at times we have to defend against a hostile external force or we have to advance something on our own, I can't tell you. I don't think California's looking to pick a fight, but we're ready for one.
And there he is, the Attorney General of California, Xavier Becerra. He joins us from Sacramento this morning. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for joining us. Hostile external force, is that the federal government?
Whoever wants to come at us, that's hostility, and we'll be ready.
And you just heard the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. First of all, on that issue of sanctuary cities, following up on that letter he sent to you and several cities on Florida, he's calling your policies reckless, and he's not backing down at all, threatening the funding that's coming to your state.
We're ready. We have been abiding by federal law for quite some time before Jeff Sessions became the Attorney General. We're going to continue to abide by federal law and the U.S. Constitution, and we're hoping that the federal government will also abide by the U.S. Constitution, which gives my state the right to decide how to do public safety. That's not their responsibility under the U.S. Constitution. We fully respect that they have the responsibility to enforce immigration law. So we're in the business of public safety. We're not in the business of deportation.
You heard him. He's saying, especially in California, you're not fulfilling that duty. He pointed up the murder of Kate Steinle.
He can show us how we're not doing that right now, and I will tell you that we can prove anywhere we need to, whether court of public opinion or court of law, that we are protecting our people. That's why California today is the 6th largest economy in the world. We created more jobs than #2 Florida and #3 Texas combined. And we're doing it by keeping families together, not separating them.
Well, there does seem to be some confusion on the administration's policy towards the Dreamers right now. We heard President Trump say earlier this week that they should rest easy. It's not his policy to go after them. But we also just heard the Attorney General saying right there that everyone who is in this country in an undocumented way is vulnerable to deportation.
Yeah, it's not clear what we can trust, what statement we can believe in, and that causes a great deal of not just anxiety, but confusion, not just for those immigrant families, but for our law enforcement personnel. We're in California trying to just continue to move forward to create those jobs. We just made a major investment in building our roads and bridges and fixing our highways, while the federal government and the administration keep talking about doing infrastructure. We're doing it, but it sure makes it tough to be able to move forward and predict what's going to happen, at least coming from Washington, D.C., when we're trying to continue to move forward. It's very difficult, and I can understand why any dreamer or any immigrant family or anyone on the streets who's policing our streets to keep us safe is uncertain about what Donald Trump and Attorney General Sessions are talking about.
One of the cases in the news this week, this man Juan Montes, who he says he was picked up by border agents inside the state of California. They dispute that right now, saying that he was arrested after he came back in from Mexico. Do you have any independent information on that?
Not really, George. And as you said, the facts still are in dispute. What I'd like to do, and I've been trying to reach out to Attorney General Sessions and to DHS Secretary Kelly to get a sense of really what is their policy when it comes to the Dreamers. We have a policy in place that the president has today not changed, and so we'd like to know, is it in fact a policy of this president and this administration and this Attorney General Sessions to abide by the DACA policy that allows Dreamers to continue to go to school, to go to work, to believe that they're not going to be out there and be apprehended by ICE agents simply because they look like people who weren't born here.
You're just coming off.
If you can figure that out.
You're just coming off 24 years in the House of Representatives. Of course, your former colleagues are facing a real decision this week whether or not to accede to that request from the president for money to fund the border wall. You heard Secretary General Sessions on that right there. He says Democrats are making a big mistake. You see any indications that they're prepared to give the president any of this funding?
George, I'm still trying to figure out who believes that a medieval solution to fix our broken immigration system is what we need. And if Republicans are going to insist on having this border wall funding in our federal budget, then one, Donald Trump is reneging on his promise to have someone else pay. I think here American taxpayers probably are very much aligned with Mexico. None of them, whether it's Mexico or our taxpayers, want to pay for a medieval wall to try to fix our broken immigration system. And Republicans, if they had their act in order in Congress, wouldn't have to worry about what Democrats are doing. The minority party, and George, I was a member of Congress, as I said, for 24 years, both in the majority and the minority. The minority cannot kill or pass a bill by the sheer fact that you're in the minority. Only the majority can do that. And right now, if the majority doesn't have its act together, that's when you find a government shutdown in the making. And so right now, Republicans can't get their act together. They're not reaching out to Democrats to have a bipartisan solution. So if we don't have a budget in place, it's not because of a border wall or anything else. It's because Republicans can't get their act together.
General Becerra, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.